let's go talk.
Well, it's another ITHSW WCHL Game of the Week. 2 weeks in a row we feature Missouri State because they came from Springfield to Las Vegas here at the City National Arena to take on UNLV. We're again with this assistant coach, Cliff Cook. Cliff, welcome to Vegas.
Thanks for having us. It's been a fun trip so far, despite last night.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. I guess first let's talk about the trip here because you took a 22-hour bus ride. And so how was that bus ride coming out here?
You actually shorted us an hour. It was 23. Trust me, I felt every minute of it. So it's a beautiful drive, though, in all reality. Unfortunately, some of the best parts were overnight, so going through New Mexico and all that, which I'm familiar with, but part of hockey.
Okay, so now you're out here in Vegas, as we talked about. You're playing UNLV. We'll get to that in a minute, but you've had a chance to be here in Vegas, to see City National Arena here. What do you think about the setup here that the Rebels have in that Vegas?
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility. We like ours as well, however, but it's nice having the backing of these guys behind me on the wall here, obviously. But we're proud of our place too. So, but it's always fun to travel somewhere new. Our program hasn't been out here before, so it's been a good experience for the guys.
Yeah, so this is a new venture for you because UNLV is new here in the WCHL, and you played them last night and didn't win. It was a good close game though, but just your thought about that, about the result yesterday. Obviously not what you wanted, but just overall. Yeah,
talking to Coach Jeremy Law last night after the game, he and I have the same mindset. We don't make excuses, and we don't want to use the bus trip as an excuse, but I don't think anybody that's seen us play this year can have any doubt that it did play a factor. But again, you got to play the game. So we're not gonna take anything away from UNLV. They played a great game. They deserved to win. We didn't. So bus legs, whether it was there or not, at the end of the day, they deserved the win and we didn't. So we're feeling good today, though. So hopefully we can pull out a better result.
Okay, so you mentioned that you hope for a better result today. What are some things that was this discussion after the game, before the game here, to try to come away with a split out of Vegas?
It was simple for us last night. Systems-wise, we weren't bad. It was just a lack of speed. Didn't have a lot of speed. Hate to call guys out on a lack of effort, but again, people that have seen us all year probably noticed a lot of the same thing, that not quite the same effort that we've had in the past. And again, you can attribute that to any variety of things, but and then of course some bad penalties. But that kind of goes along with it. You're not moving your feet like you normally do, and bad penalties can happen. And they only burned us once on that, but when you're giving up six penalty kills there, you wear yourself out even more than you normally would have. So, we've got to be more disciplined tonight and get the energy level up for sure.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the WCHL and where it stands right now after about a month or so into the season. It's hard to believe we're about a month in, but anything surprise you? You guys are right there at the top. UNLV's kind of in the middle. Central Oklahoma's at the top. What are your impressions so far of the first month of this season?
Yeah, I don't know if I would use the word surprised. Maybe some of us would be a little surprised at the slow start for like Arizona, but it's a strange year. It's a strange year all around. You just look at scores, not even just in our conference, but all over the ACHA. It's kind of a year right now for an upset, but you don't even know if they're truly upsets or not because it's just a very odd year. COVID last year's situation probably has a lot to do with that, but every night when we're looking at scores, we're just kind of scratching our heads going, man, did you see that? So There you go. It's Vegas. What do you want?
And it's a Halloween weekend.
That's right, it's Halloween weekend.
Or as I call it, another weekend in Vegas.
Exactly.
So, okay, so let's end with this then. As you guys continue on with the season, and obviously a goal would be to win the WCHL, get good positioning, make the national tournament.
Yep.
You know, what do you guys have to do and continue to have that success that you guys are shooting for?
We just need to keep continuing what we did against UCO, and hopefully what we're going to do tonight. And I'd even throw Lindenwood in that mix because we didn't play poorly against Lindenwood. We had great energy. That's just a good team. Keep playing our game, not worry so much about things outside of our own room. And play with the energy and the skill set and the systems and discipline that we're capable of. It's as we keep telling our guys, the way we've started this season, we kind of control our own destiny right now, which is a nice thing to have. Our program's never been in that position before, and so we're excited for if we can keep rolling here, that we're going to have a pretty special year.
Okay, I do want to ask you one more thing. I've seen a few Missouri State jerseys here in Vegas, and I know you guys have a great following in Springfield, but it also comes on the road too. How cool is it to see some supporters of you guys out here, and just the support that you get overall from your...
We knew this summer when the schedule was announced, our social media and our phones started blowing up with parents saying, yep, we're coming to Vegas. It's an obvious trip for them, especially all the crew from Canada that struggled for a while to even get in the States. Now that they can, Vegas was a prime spot for everybody to kind of descend. So, we've got a pretty nice fan base here tonight. We had quite a few last night. We're going to have quite a few here tonight. So it's great seeing all the maroon up in the stands mixed in with the red and black.
And I'm sure they give you guys extra motivation tonight to try to win for them here in Vegas and go on that bus back to Missouri.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's winning for them and it's winning for our guys. And a 23-hour bus ride home feels a whole lot better if you can do it with a win under your belt.
Well, we'll see what happens. But Cliff Cook, thanks for taking some time. And again, welcome to Vegas. And we hope that we'll see what happens. But good luck to your team tonight.
Thank you very much. The kids went away now that we're done with this.
No, as soon as we finish. It's quiet before the interview. It's noisy during the interview, and it's not quiet.
They're all leaving us.
They're all leaving us. I guess that means we go too. All right. Well, thanks.
Thanks, Stephen.
We've had the assistant coach for Missouri State, and now we have the assistant coach for UNLV, and that's Nick Robone. Nick, this is your first appearance on our Game of the Week, but it's UNLV's second appearance on the ITHSW WCHL Game of the Week, so welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's get right to it. You beat Missouri State yesterday. This is Game 2 as we're filming this here on Saturday. What'd you like from your team yesterday and beating Missouri State?
We were disciplined last night. I like the fact that we stuck to our game plan. We did a really good job of our forecheck. We practiced it a lot last week, and I think it really paid dividends last night. Would like to see us be a little tighter in the defensive zone, but overall, it was a really strong game for everyone last night, and so hopefully we can repeat that again tonight.
Okay, so you're about a month into the season. This is your first year in the WCHL. Your impression so far on that? I mean, you played some of these teams before, but you've joined the conference, but now you're in it. What's your impression so far of the level of play this first month?
It's a great conference. I think it's important for us to be in one. You want to strive to win little things throughout the year. So for us, our goals are, win the conference, win any tournaments we're in, and then obviously win the national championship. So when you're able to kind of tier those things, it's always great to have something to play for. So a conference championship is something we've strived for from the beginning. It's great competition. It's been a battle night in and night out for us. Hopefully that prepares us for the later parts of the season.
As you go into the next part of your schedule, you got a lot of road games coming up after this weekend finishes up. And then you're not back here until December, but you got some road games before that. What is going to be the key to making sure that you can continue what you guys are doing on the road to get some victories?
Our road trips really start with our leadership. I think that those guys have learned from the past road trip at UCO on how we're going to correct certain things to be better moving forward. It starts with us as a coaching staff too. So making some slight changes to the schedule when we're on the road, I think is going to be a big one for us. And then also just being mentally prepared to kind of mute the noise when you go to these tough places to play. But once again, championships are won on the road, so we got to learn to win there.
Well, let's talk about tough environments. City National, where you guys play. How important is that to create a true home ice advantage? The crowds that you get. You have a trunk or treat out here as it's Halloween weekend. How important is all that in the building of your guys' program?
We love it. It starts from the top down. Obviously the players are a big part of our program, but so is our supporting staff. So when you have a team for social media, a team for community outreach, and they're doing their job and they're bringing people to the games, it makes life that much easier for our players too when they just know that they're coming in to play in front of a big crowd every night. We want to get the crowd involved, but it starts with getting the people here. So kudos to our staff for making sure that this place is rocking night in and night out.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the roster that you guys have. A couple players got their first goal. At least one did it. I remember Gallant did. But who's been some standout players for your team that has really impressed you this year so far?
Obviously, Alec and Max have been big additions to the program on the score sheet, but there's plenty of unsung heroes, the guys that kind of just do the little things night in and night out. I've been really impressed with Kyle Quinn on the back end. The guy you don't notice him as a defenseman, which is what you want as a coach, somebody who just goes in, does their job, moves the puck. So we've been really impressed with him and his play and his leadership as well. And then someone like Brendan Falig, you really got to give credit to. He wasn't in the starting lineup at all for the first 6 games, and he gets his opportunity and then he runs with it. And he's been really, really good on that line with Gallant and Batusov. So props to those guys. I think, when you're looking at the overall construction of our team, that those guys don't always get the praise they deserve.
And let's talk about in between the pipes, because that's always something that you guys strive to have. Every team strives to have good goaltending, but it seems like you guys continue to have that with Wixon behind there, and also the other goalies too. But Wixon gets the bulk of the play. How's his season been going?
Well, we have 3 great goalies. All of them just battle it day in and day out of practice. They push each other, they support each other, and I think that starts with a good locker room. So that's where I think we're very fortunate is to have that camaraderie, especially down in the back end with those 3 guys. Wixon, Benedetto, Bryce, all really good goalies. Obviously, Wixon has got the starts lately, but Benedetto has really done a good job stepping in as well.
Okay, one last thing about your leadership group. You've got, of course, Captain Jared Erickson, but also your assistant captains as well. Talk about how important they are to this team and what they bring in helping get what you guys want to get to.
Yeah, Paxton, Hunter, and Jared, all 3 great guys. Really, really popular guys in the locker room. I think that's part of it too. You can't lead unless you're one of the guys that has respect from his teammates. So those 3 have done a really, really good job off the ice and bringing the team closer, and then it translates into the locker room and then onto the ice as well. So we've been really happy with them. I think leadership is something that is it's learned. It's not something you're just born with, and they've done a really good job of kind of teaching themselves and also taking advice from others on how to really command the locker room.
All right, one last about the WCHL, since this is a WCHL feature, is you guys obviously want to win that auto bid, but there's probably several teams that might make the tournament. The strength of this conference and how important will it be to win that auto bid in the national tournament?
I think that our sights are set in the old cliche, one game at a time. Last night was a great win for us, but now we're looking forward to tonight's matchup. And so when you're playing in a league like this, you can't look ahead by any means. We're really, really focusing on Missouri State tonight, and then after tonight we move in and we focus back on Utah. And I think that's really how you kind of have to handle it in this league is not making sure you don't overlook anyone. If you get the auto bid, great. If you don't, hopefully you're still right in the mix for the national championship.
Well, I think you will be, and you guys have a great program as usual, and you guys are continuing to do great things, and we'll see what happens tonight. But Nick Robone, thanks for joining us here before the rematch between UNLV and Missouri State.
Thanks, Stephen.
Yesterday in the first game of this series, and of course it's had a few goals for UNLV this year. That one goes in! It's a goal! And UNLV gets on the board first! 1-0, Rebels.
I want to give them any chance to get back into this game.
Absolutely, and now here comes the shot in by Missouri State, and they score. And just like that, it's tied up 1-1 with a power play goal by the Ice Bears. Shot. That one hits off the front. The shot, and they score! Rebels capitalize on that 4-on-3 power play, and it's now 2-1 in favor of the Rebels. Rebels trying to bring it in, they score! Rebels get a goal in the final minute of the period to go up 3-1, a huge goal there.
Michael Batusov gets sprung there. You can see Missouri State's trying to pinch, trying to keep the puck in the zone, but they're not able to get back in time, and he goes in all alone, and he ends up beating Matt Griffin to take a 3-1 lead for the Rebels. 37 seconds left in the period. That's a huge goal.
Rebel fans getting into this game with the big Rebels chant, cheering this team. Oh, it's going to be a breakaway. It's going to be a 2-on-0 as two Missouri State players collide. Max Johnson, who wants it? Number 37, Wyatt scores. That was a matter of who wanted it. Wyatt wanted it. He gets it. And it's now a 3-goal game. As Estrada brings it in. Estrada gets around one man. Estrada shot and scores as he falls down, but he gets it up, and Estrada puts it in, and the Rebels now up 5-1 with just over 5 minutes remaining in the game. Time runs out, and that will do it as UNLV secures the win. A 50-shot performance by UNLV.
All right, so Boots, you guys had, your line specifically has had 2 fantastic nights. What's been working so well out there for you guys?
Just speed, honestly. We've been waiting to keep popping them. We've had our chances. Finally feels good to capitalize on some and help the boys get those 2 wins.
Gotcha. And so, you had a huge goal tonight. Can you kind of take me through how that felt, finally scoring at home and getting the crowd really going there?
Yeah, felt good. Brad got it to me there with some speed, and honestly kind of fan on it a little bit, but still felt good to get in and get that 2-goal lead for the boys.
There you go.
Now, going into this game, you knew this was going to be your last game in City National for a month before you guys go out and play a lot of road games. What was that? How important was that to get this win, to secure this victory before all those road games coming up?
It was honestly huge just for us in our program, just to finish on a strong note before we get back here and keep things rolling right when we get back. 6-1 record, I believe, while we're at home, so feels good. We've got to keep it going.
Yeah.
One last question. Go ahead. Nick Flanders here. You had that nice opportunity, but it kind of looked like you whiffed. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, honestly, I was trying to go above the pad there, whiffed on it, and the goalie kind of slid a little. It went far pad, a little relief there, but obviously it feels good to contribute there. Feels good.
All right, Boots. Anybody else? All right, appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so I talked to you after the game last week, and you'd mentioned that you guys were a team that always expects to win to come out. Was that kind of the performance that you guys were expecting this week?
I mean, yeah, it's the same mentality, just like I said. Every time we walk into a building, we expect to win, no matter who we're playing against, and that didn't change this weekend. I thought this weekend we played a much more complete game of hockey than we did last weekend for the entire 120 minutes that we played this weekend, and I'm just happy to walk out of there with 2 wins and move up the standings in the league.
Gotcha. So Hunter, obviously hockey is a very weird sport. Every single game you go into, like, you never know what might happen. You guys just swept the team that swept the UCO Broncos, that swept you guys a couple weeks ago. So how does that feel? Kind of establishing yourselves that you guys can bounce back and beat the team that beat you.
Right. I mean, that's a good hockey team, and so is UCO. They're both good hockey teams. So sometimes things like that happen. You've got 3 good hockey teams. We think we're the best out of all of them, and we felt like we had to prove that this weekend, and I think overall we did.
Okay, so you get the win here at home. You've got a lot of road games coming up. Some tough teams. How important was it to make sure you got this win, and how important is it going to be to continue to play well on the road?
It's extremely important to get every win. We're trying to get every point we can. We're trying to move up the rankings as far as we can. So it was awesome to get these wins, but every win is important. And I'm just happy that we got it done this weekend. We got a little bit of a break before we go on the road. And you're right, they are tough tests on the road, but we're looking forward to it. We're trying to be a championship team, and championship teams win on the road. So that's what we're going to go do.
Last question I got for you. You obviously had that big power play goal in the second period. Can you just kind of walk me through how that play took place?
Really, I just got lucky. I was just in the right place at the right time. Max had a phenomenal shot, as he always does. It just hit the post and kind of came right to me, and I just had the whole net, and fortunately I was able to help the team out by putting that one in.
Gotcha. Awesome. Last one I got for you, Hunter. So You mentioned that how this upcoming road trip is going to be a pretty tough test. So how critical are these games coming up? Because it's a very long road trip. When you guys come back, there's not a lot of games left. So can you kind of take me through your thoughts on that?
Right. I mean, we're looking forward to the challenge. Like you said, they're good opponents. That's who we want to play because that's who's going to make us better every single week. So we're excited. We're excited to get out and, I guess, go explore the country and see what we can do.
Okay, let me ask you one. Tomorrow's Halloween. You got any big Halloween plans for tomorrow?
No, I mean, it's Sunday, so, schoolwork's due on Sunday. I just do that and kind of hang out. I'm a big Eagles fan, so I'll be watching that, I'm sure. And other than that, that's about it.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, Muzzy, first sweep what a lot of people are calling the best team in the conference right now. Just how does that feel to come out of there with 2 wins?
It's good. I think from our perspective, we want to think we're the best team in the conference. So in our mind, we didn't have a great weekend at UCO. We come back here, we regroup, we get ready, and you want to have that swagger, you want to have that confidence. So, for us, we think we're the best team in the conference, and this league's got to go through us. So I think we get back to work, we stay humble, and it really just comes down to us more than anything. Only ones that can beat us are us.
Gotcha. So, Coach, you guys had 50 shots tonight, almost double outshot Missouri State. So can you kind of comment on the team's performance overall during the game?
It was probably our most complete game to date. One of our team goals every game is 40-plus shots and hold them to less than 30. So I'm actually more proud of the team for holding them for under 30 shots. But, we really needed to kind of blow up offensively. We wanted to get the monkey off some of the guys' backs who haven't scored this weekend. So I think that putting up the 5 spot tonight was big for our confidence.
And, Nick, if you guys are going out on the road, a lot of road games coming up. You guys defend what you home ice, but now you got some road games. How important is it to continue this momentum?
Well, like we talked about earlier, championships are won on the road, so we need to find a way to win. I think that starts with our leadership core, and then it starts with us as a coaching staff, making sure that we have our daily routines maybe changed up a little bit, and they're a little bit more focused. And we always got to mute the noise when we go to some of these places. We have a great crowd, but so do other places. Not as good as us, but some other crowds are there, and we got to make sure we stay out of that stuff and play within ourselves.
All right, so Coach, one of the things that might kind of get lost a little bit tonight is the play of your second line with Burke, DeMizio, and Malone. They were all over the ice tonight, generating chances constantly. Can you just talk about their play tonight?
They really clicked at practice this week. Coach Greener and I noticed that they were one of our best lines. We had full confidence in them this weekend, and I think their hard work, communication really paid off. I think that what makes them special is their work ethic and the back check. Those 2 things are really important for that second line, and they did a good job tonight.
Anything else?
Just talk about just the strong performance again by Wixon. Again, he's strong and just his performance tonight.
Wixon did a good job. I mean, he handled the shots that he needed to handle for the most part. We kept everything in front of him. Not too many breakdowns defensively. Odd man rushes were limited. The breakaways were limited. I don't know if they had any actually. So for him, his night was easy, but he did his job.
And then I want to ask one more about the rankings come out next week, but it's going to be the computer rankings will take over. I mean, where do you guys expect that you might be when those come out next week?
We'll see. For us, we want to be in that top 10, obviously, and put ourselves in a situation to be there. But realistically, there's a whole lot of hockey to be played left, so wherever we wind up, and we just take it one series at a time.